Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Preparing for Retirement. As my title states, my intent today is to share my portfolio balances as well as my net worth and my goal. And I'll also share how much I contribute every month and if I expect any other events to influence me being able to reach my goal. So before I start sharing the baseline, which is the October results, October 2024, the ending balance, I do want to tell you why I'm doing this. The first reason is that this is going to help me, of course, to stay on track. I've been working more. For example, creating this spreadsheet, going back several years to be able to see my net worth progression. It helps me to keep on track. And then also, I'm hoping that maybe someone else might find some sort of value out of setting yourself up like this so that you can track yours. So, in the interest of transparency, before I get started, just to let you know, I did value my home. And if you look at the comment, I took an average of Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. I understand these are not the actual valuation, but I have to start somewhere. So I just took the average of those three, and I came out with a home value of $525. I do think that's pretty accurate, given what I'm seeing for sales and the prices per square foot. But then to pad that even more, I took only a percentage of my home equity in this line. So you'll see when we come to it, I took the actual home equity, the difference between my home value and then the sum of my mortgage and my home equity line of credit for our renovations. I took the difference between those two to arrive at my home equity and then multiplied it by a percentage. So I try to be a little bit more conservative. So let's get started on the specifics of what I actually have. So to begin with, I do have my emergency funds. Those consist of both cash that I have in hand as well as in a brokerage house and a cash management account. So you can see I have $7,600, almost $7,700 right now in emergency fund. That is about, well, it is 2 months worth of expenses. That continues to grow every month. So you'll see that should continue to grow because I am actively contributing to it. Next, I have just general non-retirement accounts. Those are pretty low because I am really piling money into retirement as well as trying to pay down the HELOC. So that is a little bit lower than what I would normally have, but if I get any windfalls or anything like that I'm not putting into the house loans, then it will go in this non-retirement account. So I have a 401k at work, and I have both traditional and a Roth. And your 401k also may have the option to do this. So I give a certain percentage of my money into the traditional side of my 401k, and then a certain percentage goes in as Roth. Roth means that it goes in post-tax, and I won't get into it too far here, but the advantage of Roth accounts is that you've already paid taxes on them, so anything that is in that and grows from it also remains tax-free. So Roths can be a really great investment vehicle if you're planning on your funds growing a bit after your retirement, which is what we're hoping for. But I have a larger percentage right now going into traditional to try to cut down some of my taxes now. So that's my traditional, and here is my Roth amount. So these continue to grow, plus I'm contributing to them every pay period. So next we have a combination of IRAs, these are rollovers from prior jobs for both my husband and I. I've combined them into taxable versus, Roth, I guess, traditional versus Roth. And so the first amount is your pre-tax retirement, and the two of ours together equals $120,000 and 544. So that, of course, well, not of course, I'm planning on doing Roth conversions once I do retire and I have no income coming in. So I will be converting some, if not all, of the 401k traditional plus the IRAs into Roths over the 4 or 5 years between my retirement and my husband starting to collect his Social Security. So I'll talk more about that at another time. The next is the IRA Roths. These are Roth accounts that were from prior jobs. I should say 401k Roths that were from prior jobs, both my husband and I, and we rolled them over here. So you can see we do have a small amount of Roth funds already, and it's great because they keep growing, and I have dividends that I just keep reinvesting in there, and so it's working out really well for us. Next, I have the my health savings account. We are now cash flowing our medical expenses in as much as is possible, because your health savings account has some really great benefits to it. I am not a tax professional, nor do I claim to be one, so I'm going to be really careful with what I say here, but if you look up what a health savings account can be used for after retirement, I can put all my money in here now, and then I can use it for a lot of things after I retire when I expect that my medical costs will go up. This amount was actually, or it would have been much larger than this, but I think I mentioned a couple videos back, my husband did recently win a battle with cancer, and so it kind of cleaned us out of our HSA fighting that battle with him. So we're just kind of starting again with it, and I'm putting our max amount, so that's going to continue to grow. And I think by the time that I'm retired, I should have somewhere in the neighborhood of 18,000 in there, plus whatever growth I see in the market. I do have it invested, so that will continue to grow. Next, as I stated, I have our home equity. This is the equity in our home, not to be confused with the HELOC. So actually, I'm going to rename that because it is confusing. All right, equity in home. So what that is as I explained before, I took our home value, which was the average of 3 major services online, and then I subtracted out our mortgage and our HELOC, and then I multiplied it by 80%, trying to be conservative. So, obviously, if you sell a home, your expenses to sell that home may be 20%, so I don't think I'm too far off here. But, that's kind of where I'm going with that. Now, before I get to the net worth amount, I want to talk about this figure right here, my goal net worth. What I would like to see by the time that I retire, and I've set my date as January 1st, 2026, I would like to see a goal net worth of $750,000. That is super ambitious. But I would like to call in the fact that I have a possible windfall of a contract agreement of about $120,000. So that would help us to reach that amount. I'm also hoping that we don't have any big market adjustments, but if we do, we will deal with it. But I am also contributing $6,000 a month to these figures, between somewhere in these accounts. So I have my contributions that I make between both 401ks and HSA. I contribute $4,000 a month, and then I also have dividends every month, and they're set on DRIP, which is an automatic reinvestment. As soon as it's paid out, it turns around and buys more of the exact same share that it came from. And so we're getting about $2,000 a month in dividends. So I do expect that I'll grow in terms of my capital to the tune of about $6,000 a month average. So this dividends does not include long-term and short-term capital gains, which some of my funds pay those out as well. So I feel like this is possibly attainable for me, this goal net worth. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and show what my net worth is as of the end of October 2024. And it is $568,785.31, which means that I am still short $181,000. Like I said, I do believe this is attainable, especially if this possible windfall comes to pass, because that would bring it down to 60. And as you can see, I'm putting in 72,000 plus or minus per year. So this is my net worth tracking baseline for the purposes of this channel. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I did actually compile this entire spreadsheet going back several years. There's 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, just to be able to kind of give myself motivation to continue through this. Because once you see that you are making progress, it's so much easier to keep striving towards that goal. We are very frugal. It can be difficult to be so frugal for so long. It's not like we're going without, but we're in an age where we can afford to maybe be a little bit more extravagant, or maybe go out to dinner a whole lot more than we do, or go on big vacations, which we do have one planned for April, but that's not our norm. And that is basically the accumulation of 35 years worth of vacations we didn't take. So there's that. But here is the net worth progression since 2021. And you can see that, the market definitely played into it, but, in June of 2021, my net worth was $313,000, all the way up to October, where it's $611,000. So yes, the market is a part of that. My home value is part of that, but it's also just, you can see just pure and simple consistency here. You can see that it is consistently climbing. We have a few pullbacks here. Mid-2023, we had a drop of 20,000, and when that happens, it can be scary, but you just keep going. You just keep doing what you're doing. You just keep putting money away. You don't worry too much about it. You just keep going. And so just wanted to encourage you with that, and my intention is to come back in every single month and update this so that you can see for yourself that consistency, as boring as it can be, will win the race. We can get there. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody. If you have any questions or if you have any concerns, please put them in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to answer. And God bless you, and have a wonderful day.